Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial, and this is my very first YouTube video. I am Fayaz Ahmed. I work as a front-end engineer, and today we'll be making this small little toggle button with vue.js and tailwindcss. I have also written an article on the same. Make sure you check it out if you want a more detailed version of how it works and how it was made. I'll leave a link to it in the description. So basically we will be making this small button where we have a thumb. Once a user clicks on it, it goes to the right, and when he clicks on it again, it goes to the left. And notice how the background changes to green when it is an active state and goes back to gray when it is not active. Okay, so let's begin by creating a new Nux project. So let's open up the terminal. Okay, let's go to a directory and let's create a new Nux project. Create Nuxt app. Let's name it toggle button. So this will create a boilerplate Nuxt.js starter for us. JavaScript, yes, I'll use Yarn. Make sure you use Tailwind CSS as well. I don't need any of these. I don't need length. I don't need testing. I will just select this as a static app. I'll select this. Okay, so let's give this a minute to finish. I'll speed this up. Okay, now that we have a project ready, let's go into this directory and open it in VS Code. All right, so Nuxt.js will basically give us an index page to begin with and an example component, which I will get rid of. I'll just delete these. I'll delete this as well. Okay, let's put this in the center. Using the Tailwind CSS classes. And now that we have a page ready, let's create a component called toggle.view. All right. Okay. If you have vtree installed, all you can do is just type view and it will hit enter. It will allow, it just basically adds a little bit of boilerplate to your view files. A template, a script, and a style. I don't think we'll be needing the style part. Okay, so let's see how it looks. So basically what we need is an outer div and an inner small rounded full button. Okay, so let's do this with div. Let's take a parent div and give it classes flex, obviously, and give it items center, and let's give it a gray background color with bg gray 300 and do rounded full. Let's give it a width of w14 and height 8, and also give padding 1 so that we have this little bit of space. Okay, let's see how this looks. Since we are using Nuxt.js, you don't have to import them explicitly. If it's in the components folder, you can just import it automatically by just giving the same name as the file. Okay, let's just try to run this project. All right, we have this running on this board. Just give it a minute, it should start up. All right. Okay, so you can see we have this. Let's just center this by giving it height. Okay, now that we have this, let's create this inner rounded child. Okay. Let's take a div, give it height 6, width 6, and do rounded full. Let's also give it a shadow MD and see how it looks. Okay, let's give it background white. Okay, as you can see, we have our parent and the child div ready. Now the next thing is actually pretty simple. What we need to do in order to make it interactive is take a prop and give it name with the name value, and it should be of type boolean, and default value can be false. Okay, so what we need to do first is bind a class okay, so what we basically we need it to be green if it's an active state. The active state is defined with this variable with the name value, and we want it to be green if it's true. So what we can do is bg green 500 if it's true. All right, let's see if it works. And by adding a method, click listener with the method toggle. Okay, let's add a method with the name toggle. What we can do is we can emit an event with the name input. I'll tell you why exactly in a minute, why we need to emit input. This dot dollar emit input, and we want to pass the negative of the variable value. Right. Okay. So the way we you must have used vue model. So the way vue model works is it's a combination of two directives at input and the prop value. So basically what it does is input is what is emitted and the value is what we pass. So let's do vue model and assign it to a variable named toggle value. And let's set it to false. Okay, now that we have a click method attached to this parent div, let's see how whether it's actually turning the background to green. And yes, it is turning to green, which you can see here. Okay, now what we need to do is move this inner child rounded button to the right, which is actually quite simple. All we have to do is bind another class of translate on the x-axis with 6 units if the value is true. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, it does not. Let's see what I'm doing. Okay, I am missing an important class which I need to add. If you're using the translate class dynamic, you have to use transform. Okay, yes, you can see that it's moving. Now, in order to animate this, Tailwind has built-in transition classes, which I will put here. Transition, since we are changing the color here, we'll use transition color. And since we are using animating the translate value, what we can do is use transform, sorry, it's transition transform. So this will make sure that it gets animated or transitioned to this green color and to this x-axis. Now let's see if this works, and yes, indeed it does. So basically we have made a small toggle button, and I am using divs. I am sure you can make it more accessible, I guess, by using buttons. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have any questions, or if you think this tutorial could have been done in a better way, or if you have a video request on front-end tutorials, vue.js, JavaScript, CSS, I'll try to make a video on it. And also make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and comment with any feedback we have. So that's it. Thank you.